Welcome to Legion Builds, where I guide you on how to bring your favorite characters into Dungeons & Dragons. This video and all my content is made possible by my Patreon supporters. It's also dedicated to everyone who subscribes to my channel. As long as there's one of you that likes this, I'm going to keep doing this, so thank you. Today we're returning to the Dark Village in the mountains of Resident Evil 8 for the final villain, Mother Miranda. A brilliant biologist, after losing her daughter to a pandemic, Miranda discovered a strange black mold that had amazing mutagenic properties, and it contained the memories of all who had been infected by it. Believing it was the key to resurrecting her daughter, Miranda began to experiment with it. Using it as the basis for a cult, Miranda gained complete control over her home village and used the people as experimental subjects. These experiments eventually led to the creation of the Four Lords, which I've already done, so check out my Resident Evil playlist because there's some scary characters in there. Miranda also began to experiment on herself, granting her abilities beyond her other creations, such as perfect shape-shifting abilities. She also has complete control over the Black God, the source of the mold itself, a fungal super colony that contains the memories and skills of everyone the mold absorbs. This allows her to dominate those creatures she uses the mold to create and summon them when she needs them. For today's build, we'll be using the Player's Handbook and Monsters of the Multiverse. We're using standard point array to make things easy, and thank the gods we're not multi-classic today because this build has a ton of information and I don't want it too complicated because we're using the one class that is the most complicated. Let's start things off with intelligence at 15. Before you became a cult leader, you were one of the most brilliant scientists in the world. So much so that you are the idol of the founder of Umbrella. Charisma comes in at 14. It took only a few years for your cult to form and become the ultimate power within the village, turning you into the most beloved person and allowing you to experiment on everyone else. Strength will be 13. You're actually up there in physical strength, probably matching Nemesis, but we're not raising this any higher, so this will have to do. Blame standard point array. Con flies in at 12. I really want to make this higher because you're the final boss. I'll fix this as best I can by the end of the build. Finally, we're making Dex 10 and we're dumping Wisdom. You are pretty fast, but we have to put that 10 somewhere and you don't make good decisions. Seriously, you didn't need to start inhuman experiments, you needed grief counseling. Miranda was a human, but is now a super colony of mold that allows her absolute control over her own body. Changeling found in Monsters of the Multiverse will be a perfect start. Place +2 into Charisma and +1 into Intelligence. Changeling Instinct grants you 2 skills, take Deception and Persuasion. Shape Changer gives you the ability to change your physical form. With an action, you can appear as any humanoid form you wish and stay that way till you use your action to revert back or die. That's it, you look like anyone else you want. Doesn't change your clothes though, which you can do in the game, but we'll fix that in a second. For background, we need the skills Nature and Investigation. Okay people, buckle up because oh boy, we're in for the long one now. Level 1 wizards start off with 2 skills. Take Arcana and History. Spellcasting grants you a spellbook that contains your spells. Unlike other classes, you can learn new spells without leveling up by simply copying them to your spellbook at a cost of time and gold, though you learn more spells naturally than any other class. After a long rest, you can prepare a total number of spells for you to use equal to your intelligence modifier plus wizard level. You're going to start off with 3 cantrips and 6 spells, and each level you gain 2 more spells. Arcane Recovery allows you to regain used spell slots once per day. After you finish a short rest, you can regain spell slots that equal up to half your wizard level but can never be of 6th level or higher, which is actually pretty sweet given the fact that what spells will be grabbing, and you can only regain all your spell slots at the end of a long rest. For your spells, Chill Touch lashes out at a creature within 120 feet and infects them with the mold, dealing 1d8 necrotic damage on a hit and stopping them from regaining HP until the start of your next turn. If the target is undead, they will also have disadvantage on all attack rolls till the end of your next turn. Infestation unleashes a cloud of insects out to 30 feet from you, targeting one creature. The target must make a con save or take 1d6 poison damage and be moved 5 feet in a random direction. Sword Burst lashes out at everyone within 5 feet of you and forces a dex save, dealing 1d6 force damage on a failure. Mage Armor grants you an AC of 13 plus your dex for 8 hours when not wearing armor. Featherfall stops all fall damage no matter the height with a reaction. Shield adds +5 to your AC as a reaction and automatically stops magic missile from damaging you. Disguise Self allows you to create an illusion around you for 1 hour that alters your appearance. Since you can already shape change, use this as a way of changing your clothes to make yourself more convincing in your new form. This is just an illusion and will not pass up to close inspection. Charm Person makes you a better manipulator. Choosing one humanoid within 30 feet, you force a wisdom save. Should they fail for the next hour, they see you as a good friend, but will know what you did when the spell ends. Don't use this on potential cultists, use this on people you need to trick or improve your infiltration abilities. False Life gives you temporary HP equal to 1d4 plus 4 for 1 hour, and later you can upcast this, adding plus 5 temporary hit points for each spell slot beyond first level. Level 2 wizards now have their subclass. Your interests include making monsters, forming cults, and bringing back your dead daughter. I think I know the perfect subclass. Necromancy, found in the player's handbook, screams Miranda. Necromancy Savant makes copying necromancy spells to your spellbook easier, cutting time and gold in half. Grim Harvest lets you regain HP when you kill a creature with a spell of first level or higher. This HP is twice the spell level or 3 times the spell level if it's necromancy, which you have no spells that are first level or higher that cause damage, making this useless for now. Don't worry, we'll be getting really good damage spells soon. For your new spells, Gift of Alacrity adds 1d8 to your initiative for 8 hours, which is good because you're adding nothing to your initiative right now. Cause Fear awakens the dread within one creature within 60 feet and forces a wisdom save. If they fail, they are now frightened of you for 1 minute while you maintain the spell. At the end of each of their turns, they can retake the save to attempt to end it. Level 3 wizards gain 2nd level spells. For your new spells, Alter Self makes you a better shapeshifter. For 1 hour while you maintain the spell, you can give yourself the ability to breathe underwater and give yourself a swimming speed equal to your walking speed, or give yourself natural weapons that come from your body, like giant claws or tendrils coming out of your back. These are +1 magical weapons that deal 1d6 plus strength in the appropriate damage type, like slashing for claws. This also lets you shapeshift into someone else, but that's your base feature, so who cares. Darkness creates a 15-foot radius sphere of pure darkness up to 60 feet from you for 10 minutes while you maintain the spell. Nothing can see through this darkness unless they have a feature kind of like True Sight or others. Was anyone else really curious when Mother Miranda created pure darkness in the game? It just seemed odd to pull that move out. Level 4 wizards earn our first ability score improvement. Place this into intelligence for better spell attack DC and more total prepared spells. For your new spells, Firebolt fires a blast of hot plasma out to 120 feet and deals 1d10 fire damage on a hit. Misty Step allows you to vanish into a flock of crows and reappear 30 feet away with a bonus action. Scorching Ray fires 3 blasts of burning plasma out to 120 feet. Each blast can be directed at its own target if you wish, and deals 2d6 fire damage on a hit. You know what? I take it back what I said about the darkness. You have way more odd abilities than just making things dark. Level 5 wizards receive 3rd level spells. For your new spell, Fly grants you a flying speed of 60 feet for 10 minutes while you maintain the spell. Summon Undead calls forth one of your experiments to serve you for 1 hour while you maintain the spell. When it is summoned, you choose the form from Ghastly, Putrid, or Skeletal. The form chooses what abilities they have, such as attacks. Going with the Resident Evil theme, go with Putrid. Your character level 5 now, Firebolt, Chill Touch, Sword Burst, and Infestation now do 2 damage dice each. Level 6 Necromancer wizards gain Undead Thralls. This gives you the spell Animate Dead and improves it. Animate Dead lets you create an undead servant that is under your control for 24 hours, after which you must recast the spell to maintain control over them. In combat, you can use your bonus action to command them to attack. The form of the undead is determined by what the dead body you target is. If it is bones, it becomes a skeleton, while whole body becomes a zombie. As you gain higher spell slots, you can cast this spell to gain 2 more undead servants per level. Because you gained this spell as part of your subclass, you can add an extra undead servant when you cast this, meaning casting this at base level gives you 2 servants. Also, now when you create undead with a necromancy spell, the undead gains an increase to their HP maximum equal to your wizard level, and they add your proficiency bonus to their weapon damage. For your new spells, Vampiric Touch unleashes your freaky claws. Each time you attack with them, you deal 3d6 necrotic damage and regain HP equal to half the necrotic damage. You can use this action each turn as long as you maintain the spell for 1 minute, and this is a melee spell attack which will use your intelligence, not your strength. Fireball unleashes a giant plasma ball that detonates out to 150 feet and erupts into a 20-foot radius sphere. Each creature inside the sphere must make a dex save or take 8d6 fire damage. Level 7 wizards now have 4th level spells. For your new spell, Ivard's Black Tentacle summons the tendrils of the Black God, filling a 20-foot square with its squirming roots for 1 minute while you maintain the spell. When a creature enters into the square for the first time or starts its turn there, they must make a dex save or take 3d6 bludgeoning damage and are restrained while the spell is active. At the start of the restrained creature's turn, they take 3d6 bludgeoning damage. A restrained creature can use its action to make a strength or dex check against your spell DC, freeing themselves should they pass. Fear is like cause fear, but instead targets any creature within a 30-foot cone. Should the target fail a wisdom save, they become frightened of you and drop what they are holding and must now run away from you. They can only use their action to dash from you and can't retake the save until they break line of sight from you. You must maintain this spell for 1 minute. Level 8 wizards earn another ability score improvement, Cap Off Intelligence. For your new spells, Blight unleashes a wave of necrotic energy at a creature within 30 feet. Forcing a con save, they take 8d8 necrotic damage on a failure. Charm Monster is an upgraded version of Charm Person that can now target any creature, not just a humanoid. Level 9 wizards receive 5th level spells. For your new spells, Innervation lashes out with a tendril at a creature within 60 feet, forcing a dex save. The target takes 2d8 necrotic damage if they succeed, and if they fail, they take 4d8 necrotic damage, and you then maintain this spell for 1 minute. While active, on each of your turns, you can use your action to deal 4d8 necrotic damage, and you regain HP equal to the damage. The spell ends if you use your action to do anything else, if the target moves outside of 60 feet or gains total cover from you. Hold Monster targets a creature within 90 feet and forces a wisdom save. Should they fail, they are wrapped in your tendrils and are now paralyzed for 1 minute while you maintain the spell. At the end of each of their turns, while the spell is active, they can retake the save and end the spell on a success. Level 10 Necromancer wizards gain Inured to Undeath. You are now resistant to necrotic damage, and your HP maximum can't be reduced. For your new spells, Dance Macabre targets up to 5 dead bodies and transforms them into undead. For 1 hour while you maintain the spell, with a bonus action, they obey your commands if they are within 60 feet of you. Once the spell ends, they return to their original state. Melf's Minute Meteors, try saying that 5 times fast, summons 6 tiny clouds of plasma that float around you for 10 minutes while you maintain the spell. When you cast this spell, and with a bonus action on each turn after, you can fire one of these clouds out to 120 feet. Once the clouds collide with the point chosen, it explodes, and every creature within 5 feet must make a dex save or take 2d6 fire damage. As this is upcasted, you can add 2 clouds for each level over 4th. You also gain a new cantrip here, so have fun choosing. Level 11 wizards now have 6th level spells. For your new spells, Create Undead creates a stronger undead servant. Targeting up to 3 bodies, you transform them into ghouls completely under your control. For 24 hours, they must obey your command, and at the end of the spell, you must recast the spell to maintain control over them. By upcasting this, you can create more undead or even stronger undead. At 7th level, it will be 4 ghouls. 8th level, you will be able to have 5 ghouls, or 2 wights or a ghast. And finally, at 9th level, you can control 6 ghouls, 3 wights, or ghast, or 2 mummies. Remember, all these gain improvements from your Undead Thrall feature. Tasha's Otherworldly Guise unleashes your boss transformation because it's Resident Evil and you need a boss transformation. For 1 minute while you maintain the spell, you choose if you are from the lower or upper planes, and you gain damage and condition immunities while this spell is active. You also gain a flying speed of 40 feet plus 2 bonus to AC, and all weapon attacks are magical, and you use your intelligence modifier. And you can attack twice with a single attack action. Your character level 11 now. Firebolt, Chill Touch, Sword Burst, and Infestation now do 3 damage dice each. Level 12 wizards earn another ability score improvement, Bump Up Charisma for better manipulation. For your new spells, actually you get to choose. We're good right now. Level 13 wizards gain 7th level spells. For your new spell, Finger of Death lashes out at a creature within 60 feet and infects them with the black mold. Forcing a con save, they take 78 plus 30 necrotic damage. If the creature is a humanoid and dies, they become a zombie and they are under your complete control. You gain another spell here, have fun choosing. Level 14 Necromancy Wizards receive Command Undead. You can bring undead creatures within 60 feet under your control with an action, forcing a Charisma save. If it fails, it becomes friendly to you and obeys your commands until you use this feature again. If the undead succeeds the save, they are immune to this feature. If the undead has an intelligence of 8 or higher, it has advantage on the save, and if it has an intelligence of 12 or higher, they can repeat the saving throw at the end of every hour until it succeeds and breaks free. For your new spells, take what you want. There's only a few more spells we need for this character. Level 15 wizards now have 8th level spells. For your new spell, Maddening Darkness creates a 60-foot radius sphere of magical darkness. Within this darkness, it is filled with shrieks and creepy laughter. Any creature that starts its turn within the sphere must make a wisdom save or take 8d8 psychic damage. Incendiary Cloud creates a swirling cloud of burning plasma. The cloud is a 20-foot radius sphere that appears within 150 feet and must be maintained for 1 minute. Any creature within or enters the cloud must make a dex save or take 10d8 fire damage. Level 16 wizards earn another ability score improvement, Cap Off Charisma. For your new spells, take what you want. It's next level that has the final spell we need. Level 17 wizards gain 9th level spells. For your new spells, Meteor Swarm throws 3 orbs of burning plasma out towards a mile from you. As each cloud collides with the target area, it explodes into a 40-foot radius sphere. Each creature within the spheres must make a dex save or take 20d6 fire damage and 20d6 bludgeoning damage. Now you can't overlap these and drop 120 d6s on the same person. For your next spell, take what you want. In fact, as I already stated, we don't need any more spells. That was it, so take whatever you want from here on out. Your character level 17 now, Firebolt, Chill Touch, Sword Burst, and Infestation do 4 damage dice each. Level 18 wizards now have Spell Mastery. You can choose 2 spells you know in your spellbook, 1 first level and 1 second level, and you can now cast them at their lowest level without expending a spell slot. For this, take 2 spells that are very useful. I would choose Mage Armor for the first level and Scorching Ray for the second, but it's up to you. And for your new spells, once more, go nuts. Level 19 wizards earn our final ability score improvement, Bump Up Con. For your new spells, I keep saying it, take what you want, have fun. I'm just saying this because you need to remember you get more spells as you level up. Our final level is level 20 wizard and you receive signature spells. You can choose 2 third level spells you know. You now always have them prepared and these don't count towards your 25 spells you can have prepared. Yeah, you can prepare 25 spells per long rest. You can also cast these spells without using a spell slot once per short or long rest. I would take Animate Dead since you can only cast this once a day if you're only bringing back 1, but both spells can be whatever you want. Finally, remember, you still get 2 more spells at this level. Now that we've reached level 20, let's recap. Your stats are Strength 13, Dex 10, Con 14, Intelligence 20, Wisdom 8, Charisma 20. Let's dive in. You can bring an army to the fight. With Animate Dead, you can bring up to 14 zombies, upcasting this at 9th level, and Create Undead, you can bring up to 5 ghouls, casting this at 8th level. But remember, you have to use your single 8th level and 9th level spell slot to do this. I would do it. Seriously, that's 19 undead that just come in 2 waves. You're good. You can also use Finger of Death to create more zombies under your control, and can even force other undead, and summon up to 9 more zombies. That will vanish after 1 hour. Don't have or want an army? Doesn't matter. Your basic plasma attack deals 4d10 fire damage out to 120 feet, and your highest can deal over 40d6 on a single target. You can also grow claws a couple different ways and deal massive damage, but just stay back and literally rain fire down on the idiot in the hoodie. Finally, you're just amazing. You can change your shape and appear as anyone you wish. You can fly and manipulate others. Downside: you want to fly or have an army because you are squishy. Your AC is 13 and your total HP is around 120, taking the average. You could of course have taken more defensive spells, but this leads to our next problem: concentration. You have so many you would be dead from alcohol poisoning if you took a shot every time I said maintain. Please don't turn my videos into a drinking game. Finally, your wisdom is really low, and that's a spell target. Thankfully you have proficiency in this, but that only makes it a +5, which that's pretty low on rolls. Get your con, dex, and wisdom up if you roll for stats, and several things will be improved. But here's a question for you. What good is a cult and an army of experiments if you don't send them to fight the dude whose daughter you kidnapped? Send them out and win the day till you find out you're fighting Mold Man and drop the ball before you win. Thank you for joining me today. Make sure to like and subscribe to not miss a single new build each week on YouTube and Spotify. Make sure to check out my Patreon where you can help decide each week's new character.